Howdy, Space Rangers, Captain Phoenix here. My, has it been some time? So I just wanted to let you know that this video has been brought to you by Fitness Solutions. These guys are a company that sell gym equipment. They do really well. They are a great company. I'm friends with the CEO and they're excellent. So as I said, they sell gym equipment, and even though they're a bit pricey, they do sell great stuff, great quality stuff. I do advise you to check them out. Please check out their website. If you live in or around East Africa, as they do this locally, check out their website because my videos sort of depend on this. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Howdy, Space Rangers, Captain Phoenix here. Today we're talking Pixar, the best company in the world, or at least the best animation company in the world. These guys have done remarkable things in the past. It is just impossible to describe what they've done. Although that's needless to say that Pixar has come across a few bumps, and they have come across a few how do I say this, stumbling blocks in their paths. So today I'm talking about the worst of the worst and the best of the best of Pixar. Today I am deciding to celebrate Pixar's 20th movie. As you know, The Incredibles 2 hit theaters a week ago, and I just decided to celebrate the coming of age of Pixar and how they've come so far. And I just wanted to rank every Pixar movie so far. This was originally going to be a part one, part two, where I did part one yesterday and part two today. But things didn't go according to plan, and so I've ended up doing two parts in one day. So you guys get a double reward, which is great, I guess. So today is part one, where I'm gonna deal with the first 10 movies, and then part two, I will deal with the second half. So guys, this is my list, so whatever I say, take it with a grain of salt. You don't have to take everything I say literally, as this is my opinion. But if you share the same feelings I do, then be more than welcome. Other than that, let's get on into the video, and let's celebrate and count down Pixar's 20 movies. Starting with number 20, Brave. Now this movie to me was really, really boring. There was just nothing special about it. Was it visually stunning? I don't know. You can see the poster over here. It's really not that great. Brave was just a film I really didn't like. The story didn't feel like it was intact. There weren't a lot of great characters, and really, this film was just Pixar's lowest for me. I would rather watch a bad film like Cars 2, because that one, at least it's entertaining because it's bad. But I wouldn't watch a film like this that's boring. There's nothing special about it. At least a bad film, we know it's bad. But here it's just boring to a whole new level. Yeah, you can't even comprehend it. Which is why at number 19 we have Cars 2. So this comes as no surprise. Cars 2 was just, it took everything good about the first Cars and just switched it around in the sequel. It didn't feel like an actual Cars movie, which is why it kind of confused me when they went with the spy route. But as I said, I put this movie over Brave mainly because, well, as I said, I would rather watch a bad movie over a boring movie. But yeah, those are the two movies of Pixar that I genuinely did not like. Yeah, these are the two movies of Pixar that I don't think I'll want to watch again soon, because they're really just really bad to me. And I just like to think to myself that Pixar never made these films. Like for Cars 3, you could call it the real Cars 2, because in honesty, Brave could have been made by some other company, and Cars 2 could have been a Sony film or something like that. Next up, we go to A Bug's Life. So this film wasn't necessarily bad, but it does fall into that category of Brave, where it does get a bit boring. But the reason it's above Cars 2 is because it's not a bad film, and the reason it's above Brave is because it's not as boring as Brave. The animation was really good for the time it was released, 1998, I think. This was Pixar's second film, so they were still trying to get on their feet, which is understandable by all costs. I do not mind. So it's understandable for what this film is trying to do. I understand the oppression of the bugs and how they're trying to live their lives. Understandable. It's a very simple film, very friendly, very family friendly, and it makes you wonder about the environment. Yeah, for all those reasons, that's why I put it on number 18. For number 17, we have The Good Dinosaur. So I've heard this film gets a lot of flack from Pixar fans. To an extent, I can see why. The story isn't really that good, and the animation of the dinosaurs makes them look more like toys than they do actual dinosaurs. I mean, I think people, when this movie was announced, I think people were looking forward to more Jurassic Park type of dinosaurs than Pixar type of dinosaurs. But let me just say that the story was actually well grounded. It knew it was going what it was going for. But the thing that really just struck me about this movie was the animation. Everything just looks like it was shot in a live action piece. Everything is just beautiful in this film. I am just at a loss for words for it because this film is that beautiful, and honestly I just want to see Pixar do something else with it. Next up, we move into number 16, Cars. So this is the one that started it all. Well, at least it was the one that started Pixar's simple movies. So Cars was really not a film to be taken seriously. Cars 2 was also taken to be very, very silly. Cars 3, even though it was the most serious of the three, people were like, really? Cars? You tried to make a serious movie out of Cars? Nah, I don't think so. But Cars here, I do like the original Cars because, well, the animation is great, the voice acting is spectacular. But other than that, I actually really like the normal Cars because this Cars movie felt like it knew what cars were. It felt like somebody was at Pixar and they're like, you know what, we should make a movie about cars. I really like cars and I'd like to show the world what cars actually look like or what cars actually do. And to that, I really cannot complain. I mean, yes, it is a very down movie. Is it really enjoyable? No. Does it reach Pixar's heights? No. So, other than that, yeah, for all those reasons, it comes at number 16. Nothing special about it. At number 15, we have Monsters University. So, this movie, as a prequel to Monsters Inc., I really did find it enjoyable. I really did love what the premise it was going for. And seeing as it is a university movie, I'm not in university yet, but I can tell that the guys at Pixar really went out all out and did their best to go to the monster to go all university for the monsters. Like it feels less of Monsters Inc. and more of a university movie. But since you put the Monsters Inc. here, it does feel like a real prequel. It does answer a lot of questions that we may have had lingering in our minds in the past. And to that, I really appreciate Pixar for answering some of these questions for us. And yeah, Monsters University, even though it's a good prequel, I wouldn't say that it's the best prequel. So yeah, Pixar still needs to work on that. Without further ado, let's move on into number 14, Ratatouille. So let me just say right now that I have nothing against Ratatouille. As I said before, the only movies which I really hate was number 20 and number 19. Any other movie about that, I really like them. It's just that there's some other movies that are higher than those movies. So like honestly, as I said, take my review as a grain of salt. With a grain of salt, it's my opinion. Don't hit me with anything. But yes, Ratatouille was a great movie. It was Brad Bird's last film before The Incredibles 2. I really found it to be enjoying. The animation was great. I loved the culture behind it. I loved Remy's dream and how he was trying to achieve it. He didn't just sit there and mope all the time. He actually went out to do it. And I feel that was a good message to kids. Ratatouille had a great plot, great animation, great story, and it was really just a wonderful premise of a rat actually becoming a chef. And without further ado, let's move into number 13. And this is where I'm just gonna get a lot of dislikes. But guys, I'm one of the only few people who actually liked Cars 3. Coming in at number 38, we have Cars 3, and yes, it does come above Ratatouille. I know a lot of you guys are really gonna hate me for this, but as I said, I'm one of the only few people who like Cars 3. I felt like this was where Pixar really grounded the Cars franchise. However, I feel like they did it too late, seeing as this is the last Cars movie. So yes, I know you're wondering, really, how can Cars get serious? I already said this in Cars at number 16, but honestly, Cars 3 was just really something to behold. It wasn't really Pixar's best, seeing as it's copying from the Rocky movies. You could tell Pixar was bored and they were really desperate. So they're like, oh, I mean, we're bored and desperate at the same time. So let's just make Cars 3, which was supposed to be Cars 2, and, let's just repair the hole that was Cars 2. I don't know if that hole has been repaired. I don't know if the fans are willing to accept it. But I do feel that Cars 3 was a breath of fresh air for Pixar. And I feel like it's a step in the right direction. Now let's move on to number 12, Wally. Oh boy, here come the dislikes. Now, Wally is fine. It's a great movie. As I said, I like Wally. I like all the movies on this list. It's just that there are some that are a bit higher on the list, and I really just cannot put it into simple words. So, as I said, guys, take my review or my ranking with a pinch of salt because honestly, there's nothing I hate about this film. I just think that there's some better films up there. So, please do not get angry at me. But yes, Wall-E was a great film. It has great animation. It shows the fall of the humans. The first 45 minutes were just great, where we spend time on Earth. There's no dialogue. We just have a robot who's following human traditions, and it's what kept him alive. It's what made this robot human. And believe me, that's something you may hear a lot these days, but I feel like Wall-E was the first of these, and they did do it right. The love story was just excellent, even though it was between two robots, so that's something else Pixar has done. And I felt like this film was not really a film meant for kids, it was just a film about art. And I feel like this art was deeply appreciated by so many people around the world. And honestly, this was just one of Pixar's highlights. Coming in at number 11, we have Up. So, Up, I feel like put it on the right spot on the list because other lists I've seen, they put it from either number 9 to number 11. So, I feel like I put Up in the right place over here. Up is a really great movie. I really don't need to express more about it. The first 10 minutes alone could make any grown man cry. It's a really touching movie. It shows that old people, well, not old people, but it shows that some people have to deal with the loss of a family member and they have to move to get past, as in they have to get past it, they have to get through it. So this film really reflects on it, on how somebody has lost a family member. They want to carry out that family member's treasures, but they feel like they can't do it. This film summarized it beautifully. I feel like Up was really a great movie. It knew what it was doing. Yes, it did get a bit cartoony here and there, but all in all, I do say it was grounded. A really great film, and I just don't know what else to say about it. But let's move on to the last movie of part one's list. Yes, we're already at the halfway mark. Let's look at number 11, Inside Out. So Inside Out is not a movie that I hate, nor is it a movie that I like. I just put it on. No, it's a movie that I don't hate, but it's a movie that I don't love. I do like it, it's just I don't love it. And this movie is really great. I just love the animation. I just love how the real world stuff is going on outside, but we have the cartoony stuff inside the brain. It shows how human emotions work. And even though it deals with a 12-year-old girl, it reflects on other people's life. And this is what Brave failed to do. Brave was just about a daughter and mother story. Here, even though it deals with a little girl, it reflects on what everyone is feeling. It resembles real life of what everyone thinks and feels and what's going on inside our heads. And I feel Pixar did this to their very best. I feel like Inside Out was really a breath of fresh air for Pixar, especially when they were entering their dark age era. This was really a comeback for Pixar, and I really do feel that it should get more appreciation than it is. And that's why I put it on number 11, straight down the middle of my list. At number 10, Inside Out. So guys, what do you think of part 1 of my list? Part 2 is gonna come real soon. As I said, I plan to do this in 2 days. Apparently now it has to be 1 day. Sorry for that, guys. But yeah, this is just the first part of my list. Tell me what you think. What are your worst Pixar films? Tell me down in the comment section below. And in the next video, tell me what your best Pixar films are. And without further ado, I'll see you in another universe. So, this video is brought to you by Fitness Solutions. Fitness Solutions are a company that sells gym equipment. You already heard me talk about it at the beginning of the movie. But I do feel like they are really trying. They've been hitting a couple of bumps in the past, and I do feel that I should take it upon myself to help them. As I said, I'm very great friends with the CEO, and I do feel sorry for what had happened in the past. I'm also deeply affected by it, and I feel really bad about it. So that's why I took it upon myself to sponsor these guys. These guys are really great. However, they don't do international markets. So if you're watching this and you're in America, I can't help you. But if you do live in areas around East Africa, I do advise you to talk to these guys. They sell really great stuff. They're a good company, and the only complaint I have about them is that they're too pricey. But they're gonna pay me soon, so the money that you send to them will come to me. So it's not an entire waste. That is, if you like me. So guys, remember to comment down below because your opinions matter. I like comments more than likes. Subscribe to my channel, and without further ado, I'll see you in another universe.